SUVs are supposed to be the dependable heroes of the road, built to carry families across states, tow trailers, and survive years of daily driving. Most buyers expect them to last well past 100,000 miles, with nothing more than routine maintenance. But the truth is, not all of them do. Some SUVs begin to break down long before they ever reach that milestone. Engines fail, transmissions collapse without warning, electrical systems glitch and shut down, and what looked like a smart investment quickly turns into a financial disaster. These aren't rare models no one drives. They're popular SUVs, sitting in driveways across America right now. Vehicles that were marketed as reliable, yet have left owners with repair bills that rival the cost of the car itself. In this video, we're counting down 10 SUVs that often struggle to survive before hitting 100,000 miles. We'll break down what goes wrong, when it happens, and how much it costs to fix. No hype, no sugarcoating, just the reality behind the badge. Let's begin. The Ford Explorer is one of the most recognizable family SUVs in America. It's been advertised as the perfect road trip machine, spacious, capable, and built for everyday life. But behind that reputation, many owners discovered a problem they never expected: the transmission. On thousands of Explorers, especially from the mid-2000s, the transmission begins to fail far earlier than it should. Drivers report violent shifting, gears slipping on the highway, and sudden loss of power without warning. For many, it happens between 40,000 and 60,000 miles, long before most families would consider replacing a vehicle. And when it fails, it isn't a small repair. A new transmission can cost $5,000 to $7,000, sometimes more than the vehicle's resale value at that point. But the problems don't stop there. Models equipped with Ford's EcoBoost engines, especially the 2.3-litre and 3.0-litre V6, are known for coolant leaks, overheating, and blown head gaskets. Once that happens, engine replacement can cost another $6,000 to $10,000. Electrical issues are also common. Touchscreens freezing, cameras malfunctioning, and random warning lights lighting up the dash. On the used market, Explorers often look like a bargain, but many buyers only realize too late why the price is so low. Repair costs stack up, loans go upside down, and the so-called family SUV turns into a financial trap. The Nissan Pathfinder was supposed to be a smart alternative to the Toyota Highlander and Honda Pilot, affordable, comfortable, and family-focused. But for many owners, it turned into one of the most frustrating SUVs to maintain. The biggest problem is the transmission. Nissan used a CVT, continuously variable transmission, designed to deliver smooth acceleration and better fuel economy. In reality, it became one of the weakest transmissions ever installed in a mainstream SUV. Owners described the same pattern: a high-pitched whining sound, jerky acceleration, struggling to climb hills, and then complete transmission failure. These breakdowns often happen between 60,000 and 90,000 miles, far earlier than most drivers would expect. And a CVT can't be repaired like a traditional gearbox. It has to be replaced. That means a repair bill of $4,000 to $6,000. Even worse, many owners reported that the replacement transmission fails again because it uses the same flawed design. Nissan extended warranties in some regions, but many drivers found themselves just outside coverage, left to pay the full cost. On the used market, Pathfinders are often priced very low, but mechanics warn buyers, without an extended warranty, you're taking a gamble, because once that CVT fails, the SUV becomes a financial burden most people weren't prepared for. The Jeep Cherokee arrived with bold styling and a trusted off-road badge. But underneath, especially in the models equipped with the 2.4-litre Tiger Shark engine, a serious issue began to surface: excessive oil consumption. Many owners report losing nearly a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, or even less. That means constant monitoring and topping off just to keep the engine alive. Miss one oil check and the damage starts fast. Piston rings fail. Cylinders score, engines seize. It doesn't end there. This engine is also known for blown head gaskets, stalling at low speeds, and sudden shutdowns in traffic. These aren't rare defects, they're widely reported and often happen before 80,000 miles. A full engine replacement can cost $5,000 to $7,000. more than many used Cherokees are even worth today. As a result, resale values have dropped significantly. Dealers hesitate to take them, owners struggle to sell them, and what was once marketed as a rugged family SUV has become known for one of the most unreliable engines in its class. The Chevrolet Equinox is one of the best-selling SUVs in America. It's affordable, practical, and on the surface, it seems like a safe choice for families. But behind the popularity lies a major problem that has cost owners thousands of dollars. The issue is the 2.4-litre Ecotec engine. This engine is notorious for burning oil at an alarming rate, sometimes a quart every 1,000 miles or less. If the oil isn't refilled constantly, the engine begins to destroy itself from the inside. Piston rings wear out, cylinders become damaged, and in many cases the engine completely seizes. These failures don't wait until high mileage. They often happen before 80,000 miles, at a point when most owners expect nothing more than routine maintenance. Replacing the engine costs $4,000 to $6,000. And here's the worst part. Some owners replace it only to face the exact same issue again because the new engine has the same design flaw. The problems don't stop there. Timing chain failures, blown head gaskets, and other internal engine issues are also common. What started as a budget-friendly SUV often turns into a long-term financial headache. On the used car market, Equinox models are everywhere and the prices seem tempting. But mechanics and experienced buyers know the truth. Unless you're ready for constant oil checks and potential engine failure, this SUV is one to avoid. When Jaguar launched the I-Pace, it was praised as a bold step into the future. A fully electric luxury SUV with sleek styling, advanced technology, and the prestige of a European badge. For a moment, it looked like a serious rival to Tesla. But over time, a different story emerged. The I-Pace's biggest weakness is its battery system. Owners have reported rapid battery degradation, charging failures, and in some cases, a complete shutdown of the vehicle, sometimes well before 100,000 miles. And replacing the battery isn't just expensive, it's devastating. A new pack can cost between $15,000 and $30,000. In many cases, that's more than what the entire vehicle is worth on the used market. Other issues include charging systems that overheat or refuse to start, warning lights appearing without explanation, the vehicle failing to restart after being plugged into public chargers. For a high-end electric SUV, these kinds of failures leave owners frustrated and stranded. And then there's depreciation. While some electric cars like Teslas tend to hold value, the I-Pace drops fast. Many lose more than 60% of their value in just 3 years. Dealers struggle to sell them, and financing often leaves buyers owing more than the car is worth. The Jaguar I-Pace promised innovation and luxury, but for many owners, it delivered one of the most expensive ownership experiences in the EV market. The Volvo XC90 was designed to carry on Volvo's legacy of safety, durability, and family comfort. It offered a premium interior, advanced technology, and the reputation of a brand known for building long-lasting vehicles. But for many buyers, that reputation didn't last. One of the most common problems in early XC90 models is transmission failure. Owners report harsh shifting, gears slipping, and sudden breakdowns, often between 65,000 and 90,000 miles. Replacing the transmission can cost $5,000 to $7,000, sometimes more than the SUV is worth at that point. And the problems go further. The XC90 is also known for electrical issues: infotainment screens freezing, sensor malfunctions, random warning lights, and power windows that stop working without explanation. For a luxury SUV, these failures create constant frustration. Depreciation adds to the pain. An XC90 that originally cost more than $50,000 can drop below $10,000 once these problems become known. Buyers see the low price, but many walk away after learning about the costly repair history. The Volvo XC90 had the style, safety, and luxury to be a long-term family vehicle. But for too many owners, it aged faster than expected and cost far more than it should have to keep on the road. The Range Rover Evoque was designed to be the stylish, compact entry into the Land Rover family. It offered luxury, sleek design, and the prestige of the Range Rover badge, all in a smaller, city-friendly package. But beneath the premium image, a serious problem was waiting. The main issue lies in its 2.0-litre turbocharged petrol engine. These engines are known to suffer from cooling system failures and sudden overheating. Drivers report temperature spikes that happen with little to no warning. When that happens, the damage can be catastrophic. Warped cylinder heads, blown head gaskets, or complete engine seizure. Once the engine fails, it usually cannot be repaired, only replaced. And that repair can cost $7,000 to $10,000. That financial hit has caused resale values to plummet. A vehicle that cost over $50,000 new can now be found for under $20,000. And even at that price, many buyers stay away once they learn about the repair history. What was marketed as affordable luxury became something very different, an expensive gamble that many owners regret. The Dodge Journey was built to be an affordable family SUV. 3 rows of seating, a low price tag, and a design aimed at budget-conscious drivers. But over time, it became known for being one of the shortest-lived SUVs on the road. The most common failure is the transmission. Owners report slipping gears, harsh jerks, and sudden breakdowns, often between 60,000 and 80,000 miles. Replacing the transmission costs $3,000 to $5,000, which is a serious burden for a vehicle marketed as budget-friendly. The engines aren't much better. The 2.4-litre 4-cylinder is prone to blown head gaskets and oil leaks. Meanwhile, the V6 version uses more fuel and still suffers from premature timing chain wear. There are also frequent complaints about failing air conditioning systems, electrical glitches, and worn suspension components. By the time a Journey reaches 100,000 miles, many owners are faced with repair costs higher than the vehicle's value. On the used market, Dodge Journeys are everywhere, and they're cheap. But mechanics know why. They don't last long, and keeping one on the road often costs more than it's worth. The GMC Acadia is often seen as a comfortable, family-oriented SUV, large enough for road trips, stylish enough for daily life, and backed by a trusted American brand. But for many owners, that dream ends early, long before 100,000 miles. The biggest problem is the transmission. Owners report hard shifting, hesitation, and sudden failure, sometimes as early as 60,000 to 80,000 miles. Once it fails, a full replacement can cost $4,000 to $6,000. But the transmission isn't the only weak point. Many Acadia models, especially from the late 2000s to mid-2000s, suffer from stretched timing chains in their 3.6-litre V6 engine. When this happens, the engine becomes noisy, loses power, and can eventually fail entirely. Replacing the timing chain can cost $2,000 to $3,000, and if the engine is damaged, the cost goes even higher. Electrical issues are also common: flickering dashboard lights, malfunctioning sensors, and failing infotainment systems. Owners describe situations where warning lights flash randomly, or the vehicle suddenly goes into limp mode. Cooling system failures, such as leaking water pumps and faulty thermostats, add even more to the repair list. If ignored, they can lead to overheating and total engine failure. On the used car market, the Acadia looks like a good deal, but buyers often don't realize that many of these low-priced SUVs are being sold right before the expensive repairs begin. The GMC Acadia had the size, comfort, and features to be a long-lasting family vehicle. But for too many owners, it becomes yet another SUV that fails long before it should.